Okay, I'll go ahead and recap my last video, but this is going to be fun for everybody because this is something I can prove because we all watch this real time. You were there. Now, what's it mean is up to you. There's nothing I can prove one way or another, but what we can prove is you got to admit this is a strange timing coincidence. All right, so last video, which I just made a few days ago, I talked about Friday looking like a day. I don't know which one particularly. I have an idea and one centered on Friday, Christmas Day 2020, and that's because of the X-Files that came out in 2016 that said Friday was a day that America was attacked. Then Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane also came out in 2016. And they mentioned in that movie as well, just watch the last video, I show you in the scripts, like I'm going to show you this. Again, look, 2016, but in 10 Cloverfield Lane said Friday, didn't say which one, just like X-Files doesn't say which one, it just says Friday. This stuff happens on a Friday, all right? And then you have the I Am Legend movie where America is attacked, a plague is released on Christmas Day. And then in the X-Files movie, not the TV show that said Friday in 2016, but the movie, the X-Files movie that came out in 1998 said a plague would be released on a holiday, the president would declare basically martial law, and the country would be under FEMA control. Christmas is on a Friday of 2020, which is 4 days after the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, which is huge. We'll get into that in just a second. But the point I'm trying to make is you can see I told you in that video just a few days ago that this whole thing started because I just rewatched 10 Cloverfield Lane and I didn't catch it the first time around, which is why, like I've said before, this sucks, this place, because you can't get off. I mean, you can get off, of course, excuse me, let me rephrase that. You can get off the merry-go-round, but it's pretty hard because you get trapped here and you don't realize you're on it. You're just having so much fun. You don't realize, oh yeah, I don't belong here. I'm supposed to be somewhere else instead of on this stupid ride. But that's why this design of being a circle isn't necessarily really a bad thing. Yeah, we go through the same shit over and over again, but guess what? Maybe we catch something the next time around that we didn't catch the first time around, like this instance in particular. The first time I saw 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was in around 2016 when it came out, I didn't catch it. I just happened just because willy-nilly, just random, you know what, that sounds like a good movie to watch. I didn't like it the first time. I want to see if I still don't like it now. And out of nowhere, I watch it. And just a few days ago, boom, this Friday hits me. All right, so I've watched about 3 movies since that movie. I watched Prisoners, which is the one where 2 kids get stolen. It's about 2 kids that go missing. Hugh Jackman's in it. That whole thing's huge to me because one of these girls, one of the girls' names that gets kidnapped is named Joy, which is, it's a whole thing with me. And then the next movie and her name is mentioned throughout the entire freaking movie. Anyway, who cares? And then the second movie was one I just watched last night called The Clove Hitch Killer. Like that movie, Serial Killer, nothing jumped out at me. So this is the third movie that I've watched since the 10 Cloverfield Lane. Now look, 2016. All right, this is when this movie came out. Look, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen this movie, it's kick-ass. It's about this kid with special powers. And let me just do a search since I lost it. Is it? Oh, cheese and rice. Where to go? Ooh, I'm gonna get it. Hear that dinging? Ding! Oh, yes, it is too. You're screwing with me. I'll just do it the hard way. Fine. Boom! There it is. And so they're asking this cult that follows this kid with special powers. Friday, March 6th. Why is this day important? And they say because that is the day of our judgment. You know, so they don't give a year. But here you go. Here's just a few days later, after I caught this Friday thing, and now I'm watching this movie again. I've seen this before. I love this movie, but I just wanted to watch it again. It had nothing to do. I did not look for anything in this movie. I just enjoy it. I wanted to watch it again. A few days after they caught the Friday thing, and here we are, 2016, same year even, mentioning Friday and attack Armageddon, because in the X-Files they called it Armageddon. So here you are again, the day of our judgment, another day of Armageddon, another way of saying Armageddon. Friday. And you notice they could have just said March 6th, but they said Friday because March 6th, Friday doesn't matter. March 6th is March 6th. Whatever day is whatever day. It's redundant even to say Friday, March 6th. And if you look, because of course, as soon as I catch this, I go, oh shit, well, what day is Friday, March 6th? No way is it 2020. And of course it is. March 6th is in 2020. So next year, 2019 is huge. 2020 is huge. Something crazy is going to happen. And I really honestly myself believe that something crazy is still going to happen this year. I'm looking at something next month, just something not like the event, but something's going to get people's attention, like MH370, just something weird. I think it's going to be something weird. Not an attack. I do think there may be like some sort of attack, but that's before. Like this is a whole separate incident that's just weird. No one gets hurt. It's just like, what the hell was that? And this is like mainstream media. It's not just a conspiracy YouTube thing. I mean, everyone sees it. Everyone talks about it. No one gets it. But I don't know. Regardless, I never should have said that. That's neither here nor there. That's not what this is about. The fact what this video is about is that here's another video referencing some sort of nuclear Armageddon on a Friday, and it all happened the same year in 2016. And you saw how I think that's weird, how just a few days ago I caught this, and here's another random watching, and here's another movie that mentions Friday, some sort of Armageddon. Christmas colors are red and green. Venus is green. Red is Mars. Red is war, so war on Christmas. 9/11 happened on a Tuesday. Same day Donald Trump declared his presidency, candidate for president, that he was running for presidency was on a Tuesday. Tuesday's Mars. Mars is war. So war on Christmas, red and green. There's an entire movie series called there's no other series. There's an entire movie series with you've heard of it, Ice Cube Friday. It's hilarious. There's 3 of them. There are no series of movies that I know, especially not mainstream for crying out loud. If it's something that's super underground cult like that no one's ever even heard of. But there's a whole series just called Friday. And here's another thing. Look at this, man. This is the day of the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, which is 4 days before Christmas. Look, I think this matters. All of the planets are on this side, except for poor, lonely old Venus. So, and the gas giants included, man, that's to me, this is all about balance. So this is the balancing act. And look, the scales are all tipped to one side. And every 20 years, these conjunctions happen, and something crazy happens. That's what's funny. Like right here, look at this. With all the shit that's going on in the stock market, right? This was yesterday, because the carnage. Is it really different this time? .com bubble. Look, here we are today. Look, same shit. .com bubble, year 2000, the year of a Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. We're coming up on a Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. Look where we are. Same shit all over again. I bet you this crash happens on or around a Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. I mean, it's all right here, if you ask me. I'm not trying to yell at anybody. Just get passionate about this shit, for crying out loud. I mean, I'm sorry, you're right. No reason. No, there's never any reason to ever get upset about anything. Not the autism, nothing. That pisses me off more than anything. But, I care about the children. It's funny, I care about more people's kids and people. I don't have kids, but I care more about people's kids and their futures than they do. But this is upside down world. I think that's all. I feel like there's something else I wanted to mention. But I think that's it. Is there something else I wanted to mention about Friday? Talked about Home Alone 2 the last time, because that's funny, right? Because that's what the X-Files says, that everybody's going to be out. So you'll either be basically home alone or with people you don't like for the most part. It's what it seems like to me in my experience. I feel like there's something else. If it comes to me, I'll make it in there somehow, edit it or some shit. Okay, that's it. Thanks. Oh yeah. I mentioned this before, but I want to say it again. This is that Planet X winged Nibiru. This is Planet X, the winged disc Nibiru. This is what they're talking about in the old cultures and all the stuff everybody's been waiting on. Nibiru, winged X, Planet X. Planet X is Saturn. Saturn's the one that's got the cube on it. All right, the X is the cube. That's always Planet X has always been Saturn, and Jupiter means Nibiru. Do it yourself, just real quick. After this, turn this video off, go to Google and type in Jupiter means Nibiru. That's why they tell you Jupiter is so huge, because Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system, supposedly, right? So just do it. Go to Google, say Jupiter means Nibiru. You will see that that's what it means. Jupiter and Planet X, Nibiru Planet X, this is it. And you see how they're together? It will look like that Jupiter has wings because of Saturn's rings and where the stuff is going to be positioned. So this is that whole thing that everybody's talking about. There's something invisible. There's a celestial body that's invisible that we can't see with our naked eye. That's not that hard to believe. That's no different than an animal going out and running a scent. You can't see the scent, but it's there. Yes? Correct? Correct? Okay, so the same thing applies to this. There's a big celestial body that we can't see, but it's there. No doubt. So this whole Planet X Nibiru thing, that's this moment, that's this conjunction. And the last conjunction of Pisces was the year before 9/11. In astrology, the last and the first are powerful, are huge. That's the big game changers. So the last conjunction in Pisces, the zodiac sign before this, which we are in Aquarius now, the last conjunction in Pisces was the year before 9/11. So if the last conjunction, and it was a crash that year, on top of, think of all the anxiety that came with 2000 because of Y2K. That was a huge, 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 huge year. So the last one was huge. What do you think the first one in a new sign is going to bring? Probably a lot of change and craziness as well. So this is Nibiru. This will happen December 21st, 2020. All right, that's one of the things I wanted to mention.